This fight's under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. I want a good, clean, fair fight. Any questions? Touch gloves, come out swinging.
Tonight's classic main event, 3 5-minute rounds of cage fighting.
I can't say with certainty whether both fighters had problems making the weight, but I can tell you that Greg REBELLO did not. Fighting at 205 pounds, in his last bout against Taiwan Howard, he had to cut down to 185 and admitted that that was certainly a tough weight cut for him. I spoke to him yesterday at the weigh-in. He said this was easy. 205 is his natural weight. It made sense for him. He focused more on training for this fight rather than just having to cut the weight. We'll see how it plays out. Lightfoot coming in as the aggressor early on, pressing REBELLO against the cage. REBELLO flips it back out and now just has his arms wrapped around Lightfoot's waist. REBELLO also fought at 185 against Dan Kramer at Bellator 49 as well, so he had to make back-to-back cuts prior to this fight where he came in at 205 and admitted that it's a much more comfortable weight for him. So far, REBELLO just using his strength to keep Lightfoot against the cage. Slips a right hand uppercut to the side of the head. Lightfoot now with a nice knee to the midsection, but again, REBELLO just reverses and presses Lightfoot right back against that cage. REBELLO in the black trunks.
Yeah, REBELLO's got the. He's in a good position to get a takedown here. With the, he's got the bear hug, the double underhooks. He's locked in right here. Cody's doing a good job keeping cranking down on that whiz end. I don't like it when a guy gets up on one leg like that and tries to defend up on one leg. Just you got to kick the other leg right off from underneath him.
Exactly.
You know, that's not a defense, is to be up on one leg. He pummels back under, puts him up against the cage now. Now he's looking to swim that right hand in for a double, throws the knee instead. Greg's doing a good job of defending the takedown here because Cody's working for it.
Absolutely.
He's doing a good job of pummeling with him.
You definitely tell he wants to get that takedown. We'll see if either fighter can gain the upper hand. 3:15 to go in the opening round. Lightfoot trying to work that knee to the midsection. REBELLO just pressed against the cage, another knee.
It might be smart for Greg here just to drop down on one knee to kind of take away those knees to the head. He's driving in for a takedown. He's doing a good job against the wrestler, switching positions.
Yeah, you definitely see the wrestling strategy playing an early factor in this opening round. And Lightfoot gets him.
Going for a cradle. That's a straight up wrestling move right there. You know, but he locks it in. You know, you can get the half guard from there. So
Lightfoot doing a nice job early on. 2:37 to go in the opening round.
Great, good job getting back.
Absolutely.
You know, it's gotten half guard,
Right
gets his
back on his
underhook
feet.
and gets right back up to his feet. That knee landed.
That knee definitely landed, and REBELLO trying to catch it, at least to absorb the blow. Did not happen.
And again, fires off. But I'd like to see Greg here. He's trying to cinch up the legs, and instead of driving into him, there we go, scoop him up.
And he did just that.
Yeah,
Picks
and
him up
do it
with
again, and
Lightfoot
do
right
it
back on
again.
his feet, yeah.
You know what he can do here is what Greg can do is attack that right leg with his right arm, that left leg. Turn the corner like he's kind of doing that and just run him along the cage. You don't always have to pick him up or suck him down. You can block that leg and just run him. That's Randy Couture 101.
REBELLO almost gets him up. This time does again.
Good job. Transitions to the
Picks
back.
him up, throws him down, and now
See if he
REBELLO
can
trying
get
to
that right
on the
hook
back.
in. He's trying to get that right hook in. He doesn't want to get too high here. It's tough to get that leverage without that right leg in to be able to scoot yourself back.
Well, if you are a fan of wrestling, this one is certainly your round to enjoy. And these two are putting their ground games on display. A lot of wrestling tactic being used early on. REBELLO has to be careful here. He doesn't completely flip over and give Lightfoot the edge, but he's able to so far maintain his leverage. It's a tough spot for both fighters here with a minute to go. It's been a very technical first round. Lightfoot now trying to land some lefts and sneak him in. He's got REBELLO on his back. 51 seconds to go in the opening round.
Greg trying to transition into a sweep here. At the very least, maybe get his guard back.
Certainly a close round here in round number one, Alex, but two good takedowns for Greg REBELLO. may give him the upper hand on the scorecards. Lightfoot trying to gain some footing. 18 seconds to go.
I would think just by the way that this round, if this round finishes the way that it is, I think this is Cody's round.
Just based on having the upper hand here at the end, too?
I think so. I honestly, I think in the judges, they remember the last thing they see. And when you have such a tight round like that, that could go either way, the last thing they see is Cody on top for the last 20, 30 seconds.
You're absolutely right. You can certainly...
That might give the round. Greg might have been more aggressive and everything. I think judges have a hard time remembering what they saw 4 minutes ago.
You're right, and these rounds are a lot longer than boxing rounds, so you can certainly seal them toward the end.
You know?
And perhaps Cody Lightfoot has done just that. We are complete with one round in this main event, and I agree, Lightfoot definitely the upper hand toward the end, and we'll see what the judges favor or what if they even remember those 2 takedowns earlier in the round.
I'm going to try to stay as impartial as possible because Greg is a training partner of mine. I know him well. I'm speaking from what my experiences of how I've seen judges score rounds. I think the judges might give that to Cody.
All right, so 1 round in the books in this main event. Cody Lightfoot and Greg REBELLO. Good round for both fighters. And perhaps the upper hand going to Cody Lightfoot for his dominance toward the end, and we'll see if that plays out. If this one does go the distance, we'll see how the judges score it. Sometimes it's always interesting when we get those
I'm
scorecards.
just saying, sometimes judges don't even get impressed when you pick a guy up and slam him on his head 3 or 4 times in a round. So
I think sometimes the inexperience of the judges in certain areas might play a factor into that as
let's
well.
face it, a lot of them are just boxing judges. They don't get the ground game or anything. This is what I want to see Greg do, is get off with his hands in the stand-up, throwing that left kick. That's
Nice left
brutal.
kick.
You know?
REBELLO coming out firing. But Lightfoot takes him right down. Just using his power to his advantage. REBELLO trying to lock that left leg of Lightfoot. Early goings here in round number 2. This main event, Cody Lightfoot, Greg REBELLO. We got a cut here, Alex, and Lightfoot is cut severely. Is pouring out at this point. Not sure how this happened.
It could have been the kick.
Right.
Could have been the kick. That was...
REBELLO also covered in the blood subsequently,
You know?
with Lightfoot on top of him at this point. We'll see if this causes a stoppage at some point and where the judges might go from here. But there is a lot of blood right now. This is actually pretty gruesome when you look at the canvas once these 2 roll over.
This is one of those double-edged swords. Great, you know, REBELLO inflicts the cut.
Yeah. Here we
He's
go.
receiving all the blood on top of him for it, you know?
And they are going to stop this for the ringside physician to take a look. Lightfoot is cut pretty bad. Looks like on the forehead, Alex.
Yeah.
Can't really tell.
You can't really see. Is that Vaseline or I can't tell.
I couldn't tell if that was a wound or, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It is really tough to tell, but the blood is definitely pouring
that
out.
a knot?
Lightfoot's
That
smiling.
could be a knot from the kick. I mean, it doesn't seem to be blocking his vision. I can't imagine them stopping this fight.
We're going to take a look at the replays, see what might have caused this. There's the kick.
Boom. It's got to be the kick.
It's got to be the kick. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's see if we
can
get him.
see from another camera angle from the other side to see if the blood came off.
Could be anything from, at this point, accidental clash of heads. You never really know what causes it, but that kick was pretty flush.
landed. That kick landed, and it landed shin on.
I'll tell you what, it
forehead.
landed cleaner than I thought initially. Once I saw the replay. You can see the cut now more clearly above the right eye, but it's high above the right eye, almost at his hairline. We'll not take a look at a replay from a different angle. Maybe this will shed more light on it.
Yeah, if we can see here, if the blood,
there's the kick.
If blood just starts coming.
Yeah, that's got to be it, Alex.
Yep,
Yeah,
there it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
So REBELLO with the left kick caught him straight on. That's what caused the cut.
Oh, no, start him up on their feet, Kevin.
Interestingly enough, they're going to start him on the ground, Alex. They're going to put him in the guard position.
And in the center of the cage, is this where they were?
They were not. They were against the cage.
They were against the cage. This is...
Because for a second, I thought maybe they brushed against the cage and caused the cut.
See, there's no...
So interesting how they resumed this one.
There's still some things MMA needs to tighten up a little bit.
Lightfoot trying to work the rib cage with those right hooks. Doesn't appear to phase REBELLO at this point.
Greg's just holding on. He's doing the right thing here. He's minimizing his damage.
That cut is pretty nasty, Alex. Yeah. Even if it's not impairing his vision, it's definitely. But look at it pouring out. Oh my goodness.
If I'm Cody Lightfoot, I'm not putting my head in side control on the mat. I'm putting my head right on top of his face.
Let it pour on him. I mean, as gruesome as it sounds, it's actually the smart strategy. They're going to stop this again, and you know what? Lightfoot not happy with this.
Right.
Pounds the canvas. But the doctor,
I mean, he's already in there, and
you got to do his job and take a look at it. And
Yep.
you know, this could be the end of this one. And this cut's bad. I agree, it's not impairing his vision, but the look of it certainly is what's I think scaring the physician here.
we've seen this before, and we've seen him.
And correct
Let
me
it
if I'm
go.
wrong, it would go
That's
down
it.
as a
They stopped
TKO,
it.
and that's
That's
going to be
it.
it.
Yeah,
The TKO victory for Greg Rebello.
and it is. It was the kick. It was the kick that
caused
that was
it.
the best.
You know, it's hard to, you can't argue with
No,
that, certainly.
you know.
The cut, whether it's deserving to stop the fight, is debatable. Rebello just consoling Lightfoot at this point. I mean, you know, it's a tough way to end. It's a tough way to go out.